Hello, Securatives. My name is Nancy Thompson, and you're welcome to our online class. Today, I'm going to show you how to draft a perfect, well fitted, contoured skirt. Before we go right into our class, I'm going to show you the materials I'll be needing for this class. I'm going to need my curve ruler, my straight ruler, my paper tape, measuring tape, marker pen. I'll need my scissors, eraser, and the fabric I'll be using is calico. But when you're making yours, you can use any fabric of your choice. But because it's a tutorial, I will make use of calico. So these are the materials I'll be needing for this class. Thank you. Without wasting much of your time, let's go right into what we have for today. First, what you're going to do, you're going to mark your top line. And to get your top line, you're going to measure 2 inches from the edge of your paper. I'm using marker pen so that you can see what I'm drafting. But when you're making yours, please do well to use pencil so that when you make a mistake, you can be able to clean it up. I'm measuring my top line. From the edge of my paper, I'm going to mark 2 inches. Then use your ruler to connect the dots together. Okay, so I'll write a top line. The next I'm going to measure is my waist to my hip line. My waist to my hip line is 9 inches. So I'll mark my 9 inches. I'll also label it my hip line. The next I'm going to mark is the length of my skirt. The length of your skirt depends on you. It depends on your preferred length. Do you want it to be below your knee? Do you want it to be above? Or do you want it to be from your waist to the floor? So any length you want, you measure it. But this is from my waist to my knee, which is what 24. So I'm going to mark 24. I'll also label it my skirt length. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to impute my circumference measurement. Remember that these lines we just marked here is your lengthwise measurement. That's your vertical measurement. Right now I'm going to mark my horizontal measurement. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to mark is my waist circumference. Measure your waist circumference and then divide it by 4. Okay, you before you impute your waist circumference, the next I'm going to do is to determine my center front and my center back. Okay, so I'm going to use here as my center back, and I will use here as my center front. Okay, so after that you can now impute your circumference measurement. So the next I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 32. 32 divided by 4 will give me 8.75. Okay, for me to impute my 8.75, I'm going to use pencil. When we get there, I will show you why I use pencil at this point. So I'll use my pencil to mark my 8.75. Let me mark it very well so that it can be visible, kind of. Then remember that this is my center front. So I'll measure 8.75 as well from my center front, which is what? The edge of this paper. I'll measure 8.75. I'll mark 8.75. The next is to impute my hip circumference. To divide my hip circumference, I'm not going to divide it by 4. I'm going to divide my hip circumference by 2. Why am I dividing my hip circumference by 2? I'm dividing my hip circumference by 2 because we are fuller. Our back hip is our back hip protrude more than the front hip. Okay, that's why I'm going to give a bigger portion to my back than the front. That's why I'm dividing it by 2. So here my hip circumference is 38. I'm going to divide it by 2. 38 divided by 2 will give me 19. Okay, that now it is assumed that 19 is for the front and 19 is for the back. You know, when you plus it together, 19 in front, 19 at the back, you plus it together, it will still give you what? It will still give you 38. Okay? So when you finish dividing it by 2 and you have gotten your answer, which is what? 19. What do you do next? Remember that I said that we are bigger at the back than the front. Okay? So from the front, which is 19, from the front hip, which is 19, I'm going to remove 1. I'm going to minus 1 inch from my front hip. Okay, that 1 inch I minus from the front hip, I'm not going to throw it away. What do? I'm going to add it to my back hip. So my back hip is no longer going to be 19, it's going to be 20, while my front is going to be what? 18. So right now, my front is 18 inches, while my back is 20 inches. So the 20 inches that is for the back, I'm going to further divide it by 2. So from my center back, I will divide 20 divided by 2 will give me 10. So I will mark 10. Then for the front, I have 18. 18 divided by 2 will give me 9. So from my center front, I will mark 9. Hope you understand my explanation. Please, if you don't understand my explanation, just go back and listen to it very well. The explanation is very easy for you to understand. And at the end of this class, I'm going to give you a formula you can use depending on your hip circumference at the end of this class. Then the length of my skirt, whatever I have at my hip line, I'm going to bring it down to the length of the skirt. So the back I have 10, so I'm going to bring down the 10. Then the front I have 10. I have 9. So I'm going to mark from the center front, I'm going to mark 9. Then with the help of your straight ruler, you're going to connect the line together like so. Then from the waist to the hip, you as well connect the line together. Then here you do the same thing, connect the line together, and the waist to the hip, you connect the line together. Remember that I said I'm making a pencil skirt. So at this point, I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to show you how to contour the the length of your skirt so that it can give you that perfect fit that you need to have around your knee length. To contour the knee length, there is a formula I usually use, and that formula is my knee circumference plus 6 divide by 2 minus my pattern new circumference. Let me repeat that again. I said for me to shape my pencil skirt to give it that fit that I want around the knee. I said there is a formula that I usually use, and that formula is my knee circumference plus 6 divided by 2 minus my pattern knee. I know that most of you might ask me, how do you get your pattern new? To get your pattern new, it's very simple. Remember that you have 10 at the back new and you have 9 at the front new. So what you just have to do is add them together, the 9 and the 10 that you have at the new length, add them together. Whatever it gives you becomes your pattern new. I have at the back new, I have 10, and at the front, I have 9. So if I add 9 plus 10, is going to give me 19. So my pattern new becomes 19. That is how to get your pattern new. Then I said measure your knee circumference. My knee circumference is 25. 25 plus 6 will give me 31. Then I will go further to divide 31 divided by 2 is going to give me 15.5. So that means my knee circumference, which is what my natural knee circumference is 15.5, and my pattern knee is 19. 19 minus 19 minus 15.5 will give me 3.5. So it is that 3.5 that I'm going to use to shape my skirt to give me that perfect fit I want around my nail area. I hope you understand the simple explanation. After dividing and minusing, the final answer I put is 3.5. Okay, that 3.5, I'm not going to just mark 3.5. I'm going to divide that 3.5 into three unequal parts. Why am I dividing it into three unequal parts? You might want to know. Is because at the center back, I am going to shape it at the center back. That is my new length. The center back, this is the center back. I'm going to mark, I'm going to shape here, which is 1. Then the side back, I'm also going to shape the side back. And the side front, I'm going to shape the side front. So if I calculate the 3 places, if I calculate what I'm going to shape, I will have 3 places. That's the side front, the side back, and the center back. So that's why I'm dividing the 3.5 into 3 unequal parts. So when you're making yours, you might have a different answer from what I got. Whatever you have as your answer, please do well to divide it into 3 unequal parts. Dividing 3.5 into 3 unequal parts, that means they are not going to be equal at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give mark 1 here. At the center back, I'm going to mark 1 at the center back. I'll mark 1 at the center back. Then the side back, if I mark 1 at the center back, that means I'm left with 2.5. So that 2.5, I'm going to divide this into 2 equal parts. That means the side back, I'm going to mark 1.25. This is 1.25. Then I'll mark the last 1.25. You see that I've divided it into three equal parts. So what you're going to do is to bring your straight ruler, just connect it, and then you connect this one. Please, at the when you're trying to shape the back, please don't use your straight ruler. Make use of your curve ruler, and please watch the way I place my curve ruler. It's very important. Watch the way I place my curve ruler. Very important. So you connect it like so. With this method, it's going to give you a perfect fit around your nail. So this is how I shape my nail area to give me a perfect fit. The next I'm going to do is I'm going to come at the waist area because I'm going to do some contouring around the waist area. The number one contouring I'm going to do around the waist area is the back, that's the back side, the zipper side, my center back. I'm going to shape my center back because our back is not really, we're not really straight at the back. So if you leave your zipper straight, it's going to bulge at the back. So I'm going to tighten this center back to make my zip relax very well for me at the back. So for me to tighten the back, it depends on the number you want to use. You can use 0.5, you can use 0.75, you can use 1 inch to tighten this center back. So for me, I'm going to use 1 inch to tighten my center back. Please note that this 1 inch is not constant. You can use 0.5. Like I said, you can use 0.75 to tighten your center back. What this does is it helps your zipper to lay very well when you fix your zip. So I'll connect like so. Remember that this is my waist area right now. My waist circumference is 8. I've removed 1 inch from my waist circumference. So what I'm going to do, this 1 inch I have removed, I'm going to replace. From here, I will mark my 8, my waist circumference. I will mark 8. Okay, I'll mark 8. Then I will also cross check the center front to make sure that I correct the mistake I made earlier. I When I said divide, my waist is 32. I divided it by 4. It's supposed to give me 8, but I mark 8.75. So I'm going to correct it. So right now I'm marking 8 at the front and I have 8 at the back. The next is to take my darts. To take my dart, I'm going to divide my bust by 4. My bust is 37.5. Divide by 4 will give me 9.375. That 9.375, I'm going to minus 2 from 9.375. So when I minus 2 from 9.375, I will have 7.375. So my dart is what? 7.375. But I'm not going to just mark it like that. I'm going to further divide it by 2. So if I divide it by 2, that's 7.375. Divide by 2 is going to give me 3.6875. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to mark 3.75. So my dart intake is what? 3.75. So from my center back, I'm going to mark, let me do it like this so that you understand. No, from my center front, rather. From my center front, I'm going to mark 3.75. So this is 3.75. Okay. So then at this side, I'm not going to, remember that I've already removed here, I've already removed 1 inch for my zipper contouring. But when I'm taking my dart, I'm not going to mark my dart starting from this point. I'm going to mark it starting from the center back. That's the edge of the paper. So I'm going to mark 3.75. Remember that I said when you're marking your dart, please don't take it. This is your contouring. So you're not going to take your dart from here. You're going to start from your center back. Okay, so my dart is 3.75. Then the length of my dart, I'm going to mark 6 inches. So 6 inches becomes the length of my dart. So I will mark 6 inches. Then with use your ruler and connect 6 inches. Then the center front, you also mark 6 inches. That's the length of my dart, 6 inches, and you connect a straight line like so. Then you determine your dart intake. Your dart intake can be 0.5 on both sides, or 0.75, or 1 inch. So my dart intake is 0.75. So I'm going to mark 0.75 on the both sides. So that's my dart intake. So 0.75, and this is 0.75, 0.75. Then you connect your dart like so. Connect your dart. Connect. Connect. Okay. Sorry, this is not showing very well. I didn't connect this side. So you connect it like so. Okay. Another thing you have to take note is that you have taken your dart. This dart you have taken, that means you have taken out of your waist measurement. You have to replace it. If you don't replace your dart that you have taken out of your waist measurement, when you finish making your skirt, it is not going to fit in very well because you have taken darts from your waist measurement and you didn't replace it. This 0.75, I'm going to replace it so that my waist circumference will be complete. Remember, my waist circumference is 8. So, and I've taken 0.75 on both sides. That means I've removed 1.5 out of my waist. So I'm going to replace it so that my waist will be complete. But when I'm replacing it, I'm not going to replace 1.5. I'm going to just replace only 0.75 because I want to have a snatch waist. That is why I am not replacing the whole that I took off from my waist. I'm just replacing only one so that at the end of the day, my waist will be snatched and give me that perfect fit I want around my waist. So that is how to have a contour waist if you want your waist to be snatched. You're not going to replace the whole dart you took out of your waist. Just replace only one dart. So I'm going to replace only one dart, which is what? 0.75. So from my waist measurement, I will replace 0. From my waist measurement, I will replace 0.75. Okay, from here, I'll replace 0.75. That's why I didn't connect the lines together, because I know that I'm still going to replace it. So from here, you can now do your final connection. So you replace this, and then you replace this. Let me use another marker so that you can see my final waist measurement. So I'm using red here so that you will see the final waist. So here, this is my final waist measurement. Okay. This is how to draft your pencil skirt. And with this method, your skirt is going to come out very well. So do well to try this, and let me know on the comment section anything you don't understand. I will be in the comment section to answer your questions.